A WordPress-powered club website hosted on Toastmost.org can look like this, or this, or this, or this. You can look how you want. You can start out when you sign up for an account. You can choose from any of these starter design themes. You can change your mind later, and you can innovate within that framework. You can add more depth to your club website by having articles. Experts within your club can show off their expertise, build their fame by sharing video, by sharing blog posts. And so here we have a listing of all sorts of workshops that have been organized by this particular club. Viewed on a mobile phone, these sites automatically reformat to fit the smaller screen. So for example, that 3 across grid we saw featured blog posts. When we get to it down here, it appears in one column so that we can navigate it and view that content on our mobile phone. Once a prospective member visits our club and decides they love it, we can send them to a link on the website where they can fill out an online application form. So this is just a web-based version of all the same prompts and all the same questions that they would be asked on the paper form. So in this case, if I'm a dual member, I'm going to fill out my current club membership and put in my information. And I'll have to agree to all the same prompts in terms of, do I agree to be sent email? Do I agree to the Toastmasters promise? And all of those things are in here. This has been reviewed by Toastmasters International. They've asked me, in the case of a transfer membership, we're required to send them an email copy of it and CC the member who is requesting the transfer, and that member needs to confirm that they want to be transferred. But otherwise, this is just a process that eliminates the need to email back and forth with the PDF version, or for people to have to sign and scan in the PDF version. But also it gives us the opportunity to capture those membership dues. Strike while the iron is hot. I'm showing both credit card payment and PayPal as options here. So this does require a little bit of setup on the site, but you can do it. I'll help you through it. And this is a way of collecting dues and dues renewals more quickly and conveniently. Now, once somebody becomes a member, we want them to be able to come in and sign up for roles. So they can do that by logging in. There is a method I'm going to show in a moment for signing up for a role without actually the need to enter a password. But here I'm going to show entering a password, identifying myself as a club member. And once I've done that, I can scroll down the agenda, I can see any open role, and I can click to sign up for it. We actually have some things on this particular site's agenda that are set up for hybrid meetings, trying to identify who's going to come in person. But also as the VPE or the Toastmaster of the day, whoever's responsible for getting people to sign up, I can send out a note exhorting them to sign up. Make your VPs life a little bit easier by signing up at least a week ahead. So that's an excellent thing to do. We know that some of the people who get this message are going to see it first on their phone, so we've got to make it easy for them. So if I scroll down in the phone view, I see all these little one-click sign-up links next to any open role. And if somebody else has already taken that role, then I'll be shown the other roles that are still open, and hopefully I'll take one of those and help out my VPE, help out my club by being an active participant. A variation on this theme is where we want to suggest that a member take a specific role. So I can go in here and see that I have a speaker slot opening, and I can click on Edit or Suggest. In the Suggest mode, when I pick from my list of members, I'm going to see who has done that last. So who's given a speech, what's the last time that they did it. We'll also see that some other people already have roles for this meeting. So I don't want to assign it for the Toastmaster of the day. I pick this other member and send him a note saying, you really ought to speak at this next meeting. We haven't heard from you in a while. So it's a way of exhorting people, encouraging people to be bigger participants in the club. So this is going to be emailed off to that member. And again, they can receive it on their phone. They can do it with one click. Just accept that they're going to serve in that role, and they can go through the process, and you can do this on your phone, of picking the path, the level, and the specific project, and then putting in your speech details. Maybe you could just start that on the phone and finish it up when you get to your desk later, but at least you can grab a hold of that speaking role and be an active participant in the club.
Now, to edit the content on one of these sites, you'll work in sort of a web-based word processor that is organized around the idea that different types of content, such as the headings, a YouTube video that you've embedded, the bullet lists, these can all have different controls associated with them. So if you see on the sidebar, the options are changing as I go to these different components, or an image embedded. So if we wanted to replace this image or resize that image, we have controls to do that. The same sort of principle about different kinds of content blocks is applied to editing your agenda, where we have specialized blocks for the different roles in your meeting. So you can set up a speaker role, and you can say that we're going to have 3 speakers, or maybe I could change that to 4. And if I change the number of speakers, I would also change the number of evaluators. And maybe we decide that we want the topics master to be after the speaker portion of the meeting, so we'll move that down. There's a lot to learn, but learning how to manage a WordPress site is a skill that you can take to other business and nonprofit projects that you have in your life.
It costs you nothing to get started, so head on over to toastmost.org, fill out the form, and give it a try.